Hi, everybody. It's Grace. Welcome to Eating Peace this week. Nice to have you here. Somebody asked me not long ago, and I do get this question from time to time, isn't it tiring or don't you get just sick of trying to look at what your thoughts are and then question them and take them to inquiry and write everything down constantly and get overloaded with the analysis of what's in the mind? Well, yes. If that's the way you're looking at this exploration of thinking, trying to get every little detail, or just if you feel the energy of that question, if you feel what it is, it's like an overwhelming kind of burden at looking at thought and feeling like it's dominating your experience and your choices and your ideas and your behavior, and looking at that too much can drive you crazy too. This happens in far more areas than just compulsive eating or emotional compulsive behavior of any kind. It's sort of like, if I'm trying to sort out my compulsions, and by doing that, I realize that there's a strong connection between what it is I'm believing and thinking and repeating to myself, and then what I feel and what happens, how I act, how I move in the world, what I do compulsively to avoid or escape or soothe myself. Yeah, it's huge to realize that there's a connection with all those things. But there is a simple thing you can do if you find your own mind actually, starting to take that very seriously, and like I got to get every little detail and be analyzing myself constantly all the time. That's not really super peaceful. So the energy of that is kind of like back in that intense, I got to grab it hard, my fist is closed tight, right? Got to figure this out, got to figure this out. Here's a quick and simple way to work with that kind of energy, when you feel hopeless or kind of overwhelmed with all your thinking. Just say this. Shh. Say that to yourself. Shh. It's kind of funny. But it's like living and embodying the question, which is question 4 in Byron Katie's work. Who would you be without your thoughts? Who would you be without that thought? What would you be without thought? If your thoughts could still just be running away like a little babbling brook over in the corner, okay, I know, they sometimes seem like it's like a waterfall or like a geyser going on over there. But if you just notice the environment, so today here I am kind of waiting off and on to offer you up this video because there's some kind of machine, big giant truck with chopping up trees into little bits, some big tree that needed to be taken down and was sick and all hollowed out in the middle, and they've been working for hours and it's making all kinds of noise. And at some point I stopped noticing the noise, and then at some point I decided I'm just going to make my video anyway. You guys might not even be able to hear it. And it just seems like to rest there, it's perfect. Like, what if that noise is just like the way thoughts are, and you can just set them over there in the corner and not react, just leave them alone. There's a beautiful little tale in the Tao Te Ching where it's like our thoughts are always there, and it's as if they are sediment on the bottom of a river. And when we start to feel like that intense gripping thing, I got to figure this out so that I stop eating. I just got to figure this out. It's like shaking up a little jar of that river water with all the sediment on the bottom, and the whole thing gets completely dark and cloudy. How do you get the river water to be pure? You just set that glass of water down and leave it alone. You just shh. I don't have to really figure this out. There's not a have to about figuring this out. If I just stop and hold still, I just push the pause button on what's going on. Just close my eyes, take a moment, time yourself and sit still. I know I speak about one exercise is count to 60. Wait 60 seconds with a huge, enormous craving. Or even the thoughts about getting food. If you feel compulsive, like you've got your ideas about, I'm going to do that thing later, sometimes you can notice that even the thought of getting the food later or moving towards whatever it is you want, compulsive feeling, is just having the thought of it, I'll do that later, calms you down in this moment, and you haven't even gotten the food yet. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to get whatever I want. I'm going to please myself. I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat out this anger. I'm going to eat this sadness. I'm going to, finally do something for me. Just the feeling in that moment before you've even gotten the thing to put in your mouth can calm you down. It's an interesting thing to notice. I know that's not always the case, but can you be calm in this moment no matter what's happening? Even if your mind is very loud, even if it feels like there's a whole cacophony of sound with what's going on in your head and the thoughts are just going nuts. Just look at them like they're in a big glass of water churning up, and you see if you can set it down. Maybe relax inside your body, take a deep breath, and just hold still. You do not have to figure this out. Here's the funny thing, the strange paradox of all of it. We love inquiry, looking at what the thoughts are, what the feelings are, but opening your hands up. Open hands, not, I'm going to get this. Just relax. Maybe I will never know exactly why I've had this compulsion and others have, and then there's some people who haven't. It's okay if I don't get it completely squared away and handled and figured out and understood. But can I find peace in this moment? I can. Take care. Let me know how it goes.